We have some new updates from the same guy that brought us this video.
Let's see. Mind you, I'm right on the borderline of Pittsburgh, Munhall, West Mifflin. Pittsburgh is like less than 200 yards away from where I'm at. And so they went around and dug up around all these telephone poles. And there's the screw. Look, they added this. Look, they drilled a fucking, that's like a 3/4 inch, almost an inch hole into every telephone pole. There's wood inside that star bit. So it's a star bit fucking screw, you know? But it's almost like an inch fucking big. And they drilled them like diagonally, see? But they dug around all of these, every one. All the way around. I'm talking like, I don't know, 200 light posts, but I don't know, man. That's what I wanted to show you.
So on March 27th, he sent me this that said, more developments. Dickinson Light Company replaced a pole down the hill from my house. They said someone hit it with their truck and it was unsafe. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. No one hit it. It was badly burned at the plus or minus 3 foot mark. Also, not long ago, I called them because the pole on the corner of my street in view from my bedroom window was on fire. Here's just a show of the text thread where you can see the same text in here leading to the photo where he says, that one there behind the pine tree. And so apparently this is the view from his bedroom window. And that was the power pole that had caught on fire. This guy says that in Ontario, they're replacing the wooden poles to concrete and making them larger from 25 to 35 or 40 footers. And I've seen a new type of pole out there that's wrapped in fiberglass. Documented it somewhere in one of my videos. And this is an image from the video linked in the description called Promethean Footprints in Tremonton, Utah. But you can see how it's burned out part of the pole right there and they've braced it up. I'm gonna go over some of the links in the description. So here I'm going to go over some of the links in the description that are in yesterday's video titled I Triggered the Truth Suppression Agents and Turned Agent Smith to the Light Side. And I'm going to talk after I go over these links about how that guy come up to me trying to spit every BS story he could come up with. It's the sun, it's the heat. Until finally I showed him I know enough about what's going on here. You're not going to be able to run all that BS on me. And he changed his tune and said, okay, I'll tell you where you can go find some power poles up there near the power production facility in Provo Canyon. We just installed the new one. And then he even said, I think it's magnetic. When I said, yeah, it's the fluctuations in the Earth's magnetic field producing ground current surges. That old man knew a lot, but for the first 3 to 5 minutes, he kept trying to tell me, oh, it's this, it's that, it's the other thing, until he realized, I know enough about this. And I told him, you can walk right back down there and see this piece of wood on the corner, old man. By the end, he was like giving up secrets, telling me where to go find a bunch of these plasma poles. I'll bet you if I follow the directions that he gave me, that's what we're going to see. So in this one, part 1 of 3, Promethean Footprints. From Tremonton to Deweyville, that's the one we just watched where we saw that the pole is braced at the burn point. Here in Skywatch Media explanation of ground current surge that creates plasma fire, they just talk about how fluctuations in the magnetic field result in a fluctuation of ground current, a surge of ground current. And the fact that we are at the pole shift and the magnetic field is as weak as it's ever been, that may be why we're seeing a lot of this, those fluctuations in the magnetic field. Hardening the grid with lag bolts. That's the original video I did that we just watched part of. Lichtenberg burning techniques. These two, the full-length demonstration of fractal burning and Lichtenberg burning techniques, shows you how electricity can be applied to wood and it produces fractal burning patterns. I see those same fractal burning patterns in the dirt. Arming firefighters with white-hot sword of truth. This one is where I'm filming fence posts that have obviously all been burned through the same electrical process, and there's 3 people in one of these hot shot fire trucks, the little small fire trucks that they use for wildfire. And they drive over to me and I walk up to them And I asked, so what do you guys think of all this? And he said, well, actually, this is a crime scene that's under investigation, so it's restricted area and you're not supposed to be here. And I said, oh, okay, crime scene under investigation. I'll take your word for that. And I quickly explained to him that I've been documenting these around the world, or around the country, and I see lots of electricity here. And in some way, I somewhat armed those firefighters with the sword of truth. The same truth that they are being asked to suppress when they are given these instructions, and told by their superiors, this is under investigation, therefore, you are not to say anything to anyone about it or you're interfering with the ongoing investigation. This one I just included because it's one that I took in Colorado around the same time that I came in contact with this explanation by Skywatch Media about the Earth's magnetic field vibrates, suddenly causing an electrical surge. The original plasma pole graveyard and the second video of the plasma pole graveyard, both at the same location. Now I'm just going to play a couple of excerpts out of this 30-minute dissertation titled, "The Eye is the Lamp of the Body," and this relates to what James True was talking about, how the crystal ship, if your crystal ship is lit, you're good to go.
Yes, the fallen angels. Okay, so you've heard of angels losing their wings. Picture a dragon without its wing, okay? And this is why it pains me to hear you talking about dragons and the way you do. Because a dragon is a beautiful thing, more than you would even think it is, okay? But without its wings and turning its back on the light, it is the worst thing where we are. It's the worst thing. And this is what they don't feed on light. Manipulating us has also affected that. Okay, so
this is the very first of the video, how it starts.
Right. We're talking about Enki and Yahweh being the same through the studies from these different guys. You know, that they're the same individual, and also the same individual as Lucifer, he's calling himself God all over the planet. He's calling himself God, and he doesn't want like an actual image of himself.
And so he just said that Enki and Yahweh are essentially the same person, and this is pretty much the story I've been receiving, talking about how Enki and Enlil are a replication of Satan and Jesus. So there's a couple more parts, and I don't know what to make of it all, but it parallels with so much of what I've been saying, it would just be too good not to pass along.
Okay. But if you enter a trap that you know how to leave, and your purpose is to help the others ascend out of this trap, then you are a light bringer, a way shower. You are here to guide the blind to the light. Now, for some people, it's all about information and things like...
I remember saying something like, this is a cymatics prison, and we're getting early release. Deferred sentences for good behavior are being handed out by the warden. And if Jesus checked himself in to a life prison sentence in order to be able to communicate with those prisoners in there and afford them a way out, that'd be a pretty honorable thing to do.
But I don't think that that's going to do them any good. I have one friend that says to me, oh, one day, because this is one of my friends that does quite a bit of meditation, and one day there's going to be a bunch of alien ships here, and he said, but don't believe the hype. He says it's going to be all government, our government. They're all their ships. They've been building these ships. They've been underground and on the moon building ships, and they're actually government ships. You go to the store and buy a coloring book for the kid. No, and that's just it. In part, it is real. Okay, so like I said, let's talk bigger picture, okay? Whether the governments wanted to be involved in what's about to happen or not, this was going to happen. Ships were going to show up to come collect people. So they know what's going to happen. They didn't realize.
At this point, I'd like to inject the Muse message for this video, which is after the gold rush. I was sitting in a burned out basement when the sun burst through the sky. Thinking of something a friend once said, and I was hoping it was a lie. And they're taking Mother Nature's silver seed to a new home in the sun.
Okay, I don't think they don't realize what's really going to happen.
Right. The truth of it.
Okay, and part of it they know, and some of them are being manipulated under another guise. Well, they're saving the human race from something that's going to happen.
Right.
Okay, like whatever.
The truth of it.
Okay, and part of it they know, and some of them are being manipulated under another guise. Well, they're saving the human race from something that's going to happen.
Right.
Okay, like whatever. Some people that I guess maybe that's what you need to do is get on one of the ships. Maybe you'll be able to get on a ship with somebody that's going back to a beautiful place better than this. And I believe that's very possible. Okay, well, first of all, you can't really discuss what catastrophe is going to actually happen unless you can understand that there are also different timelines that can occur. All I'm going to say about that book is this: the eye is the lamp of the body. And if the lamp is lit, your whole body, your life will be lit. I don't know the exact terminology, okay? Even if modern stupid terminology, okay? Even if you read the different translations, you will find that all the way up until this modern stupid English version, they're all saying the eye is the lamp of the body. And then when he continues on, he says it plural because he's talking to plural people after that. And so people always keep talking. I've watched so many videos of people just talking about the damn eyeballs, and he's not talking about that. The eye is the lamp of the body, okay? So to be a Christed being, you have to follow that path and is open your third eye. And for me, the path was through my heart space, right? So first I had to find that spark that is my soul and my body. And if you spend enough time alone in the dark, listening to your heartbeat while you breathe, you just might feel that spark. You just might see that spark and know that that is who you really are. To spend too much time in any single religion, I believe, is only to be derailed and not to find your truth. I mean, and I'm saying religion, I'm not saying the spiritual importance of what the religion began as. I'm only talking about more of the religious dogma bull that you get from people meddling with something that was important and true at one time, and can be to any.
My next video is going to be going over lots of these triangle craft. For those of you that have been able to see it, right there, center screen, within a circle around it, I'm going to show you ships that are parked above us with a whole lot of these triangle craft parked on them 2 by 2. For those of you that were able to see it, you'll be very interested in the upcoming video, because these triangle craft right there are parked on what I call airborne aircraft carrier, floating fortresses, city in the sky. 2 by 2, you can see the docking ports and everything.